Hey, hey everybody. Slowly
Hello.
but surely we are coming in. Hey, Kristi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Well, I can't really see you yet. Nice to hear you.
That's cool. So I think we just wait a little bit and we give people the opportunity to join us.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's nice to have you guys all here in our Zurich office. This, by the way,
In your office since last time,
yeah, we keep on moving, yeah, in a good way.
in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 18 attendees now. I think we can
Okay.
start.
It's really great. Yeah, let's just give it a little breather still. But it's, yeah, so welcome everybody to the Producer Maker Machina podcast or webinar, this one. It's a Made for Makers webinar, and we are live from Zurich. And this is our new office. This is not a virtual screen. This is the real thing. I am Sasser, CEO from Producer. This is Polomil Giselle,
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
co-founder and CTO for Producer. We also have Rasmus Sievers, our product owner, joining us all the way from Berlin. And then we will have a really special guest, Kristi Sasser from Alabama, USA, from Copperwing. It's a real user for Producer, and she's also joining us on the webinar. So today we're talking a lot about behind the code, and it's a little bit more about celebrating our milestones, what we have achieved over the last 6 months. We are going to look further ahead into the future. What exactly is the future holding for Producer? And we will look closely into the last 6 months, exactly all the features that we've built, that we've brought out. Rasmus will take us through we'll do the current features, yeah, and Pablo will help us also with what is the future holding for Producer. Our special guest will be giving us we will have a little talk with it. There's an opportunity for questions and answers. And then we would encourage you guys to stay till the end because we are running a special offer today. So for you guys that stick it out to the end, there's a special offer. All right, Pablo, you want to take it away?
I will take it away. Thanks, Gara. Okay, so first we want to take a bit of time to look at the current milestones. So 6 months ago, we opened a public beta so that everybody could join, use Producer, give their feedback, and that we could finish the last few features we were working on. So after 6 months, we are really close to it. We want to present a few features we developed in the last 6 months, especially the sharing feature of Producer, and then a few improvements we did to help you work faster.
Especially the sharing one, that was a real...
Exactly. So I will go
through
the sharing. It's the feature that not everybody knows yet. And the goal for this was to help you get feedbacks from your clients once your production is finished and you are working on your post-production. You need to get review either from your team, if it's internal clients, if you're working with external people, without leaving Producer.
So you don't need any other application for files. You can
exactly share, you can transfer. You don't need WeTransfer. You don't need Google Drive. You don't need Frame. No. Everything can stay in the same place. So you can actually, it's not just about post-production, it's about any files. So now you will see your sharing appearing in any steps. You can share multiple files. You can share one file and decide if you want. So I would just share one without download. Right. And if you share this link, everybody could join, comment with you. You will see the comment directly from Producer. They will see the comments when you reply directly on this link. They can reuse it. And if you need to transfer file, you just have to change the option either when you create, or if you, like me, you created the the share link without download option, you can always go back to it, you can trigger the download option here, and people will be able to download their files. So this is really nice if you need to transfer either sounds, the final film, anything you need to transfer to someone, you can do it through this new sharing feature.
And the beauty of that is you don't have to have the people inside your project. Yeah? You can just share it directly.
Exactly. We know that the inviting guest was, sometimes people were worried of inviting someone in their project that they could see everything. So this will help you share just some files without them seeing the process or even the original files if you want to keep them hidden. So that's for the really big feature we developed in the last 6 months and deployed. And the rest was a lot of improvements. Some of you might have seen them. Some of you joined maybe a bit late to see how it was previously. But you will see everything now is linked even better than before. I will show you some example with our new call sheets that was just deployed a few weeks ago, where of course all your teams as before are linked, but you will also now find your cast. So all the cast in your call sheet will be directly linked to your schedule. So if you have a character with the cast linked to it in your schedule, you will see him appearing directly inside this cast.
So if I put it in storyboard and I connect it to a shooting day, it's already in the right shooting day.
Exactly.
Wow.
And if you just remove the shot, you don't have to go back to your shot list, to your call sheet to remove the cast. It will be removed automatically.
I love it also, the collapsible feature that you can just collapse to make it smaller, that you don't see the whole crew. You can just collapse it, and that's really cool to get to it.
Yeah, it's a way to have a fast overview of what's happening. You can also have an individual call time. So as always, there is the main call time for all your crew in the call sheet. But if someone needs to be here either later or earlier, you can always switch it to a different timing, right? And he will see his call sheet with his own call time.
What I also love is, like, if you don't need specific crew for a specific day, you can now hide it. Eh?
Exactly. That was a really good point that we actually worked with Kristi here to be able to say, hey, this guy doesn't have to be here today. So you can just hide him. You will not lose him. You will still be in your project, and you can always re-add him on a day if you change your mind.
And if you then print out the PDF, he's not on it. If you hide
course.
It. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then really soon, when we will be, Rasmus will talk more about this, but when you will be able to share a call sheet, only the people on this day will receive the call sheet. And if you're not on this day, you're not bothered.
Yeah. And I was just now with a client that scrolled through the call sheet on the mobile phone, and it looks so good now.
So this is actually my next point. Producer will be fully working on your iPhone, or actually on your Android, any smartphone.
Yeah, I mean, that's really practical. So when you're on set and you quickly need to check the shots, which shots did we shot,
yes.
or just the call time, I need to see what time I need to be where, to which location. I can just pick up my phone and I can easily review it, and I can even work on it if I need to. Yeah.
You can work on it, and if you change an information, you are sure that everybody in your crew will see the actual the actual data. And of course, you can always print a PDF of it. I think it's always safer when you're on set. You never know if you will lose internet or lose battery, but having it live will make sure that everybody is always on the right with the right information.
Yeah, because it's SaaS and it's running off the browser, you always have the latest version. Yeah.
So we talked about the mobile friendliness. That's our current work. The next big update you will see is we are adding support to more video files that you can actually not play back right now on Producer. Some of you might have seen it, but some really specific format cannot be played on your browser. So we are working now to add transcoders so that you can play any video files directly on Producer without to download them. It will also bring huge performance improvements. So for people with bad internet or flaky internet, you will see also an improvement in the experience when using Producer with your video files, when commenting, when adding annotation, and when sharing.
But the great thing is, like, you're not sacrificing any quality. Yeah.
No.
The quality is so high. It converts the files into a smaller version, but the quality is so high. So it makes it really easy for playback, and that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And now Rasmus will take over and present some best practice and tips and tricks from someone from the industry on how to use Producer faster.
Cool. Thank you. So I will share my screen. Yeah, I would like to give you first some best practices, or show you some best practices, 5 actually, which work from Shotlist and Storyboard. It's some stuff which some people might know, but others maybe didn't discover yet. So the main idea is to work a bit faster, a bit more streamlined with Producer and make benefit of that everything is connected and that you enter data actually just once. So let's say you work with a storyboard artist. So what you could do is to ask him to give the file names of the single images already the numbers of the shot or the scene number, scene shot number combination, so that it's already ordered. So I prepared here something with some frames which might be familiar to you from a very nice movie picture, Moonrise Kingdom. So if you have already the frames with the numbers in line, you actually can select them all and simply drag and drop them as a bulk onto your storyboard. And there it is. You got all your shots already in the correct order, right? You don't even have to rearrange it. Of course, you still can rearrange, but you don't have to. So that was tip number 1. Number 2 is creating locations and characters already from within the storyboard. So not necessarily have to go to these steps, but stay here. And let's say this is the location. Sorry, I have to go to the one where I can enter it. So let's say this is the location, let's say open field. And then I have to click on create open field first. So I have to refresh, but this soon you don't have to refresh anymore. So to have this available already in all the other shots. Same with characters. Here you have Sam and Susie, so they are not there yet, but you can create them. Saying create Sam, create Susie, no? Susie, and then you can pick him already here. So you got it entered here, and like I said, like the idea of Producer is to enter data only once because everything is connected. If you now would go to your shooting schedule, you see it's already there. Also the locations. Of course, the locations, if you want to enter some addresses, for example, or additional info, you still can refine all this in the step, but you don't have to in the first place. Same with the cast. If you want now to do casting and put candidates like from real actors to that roles, you can do everything in the cast step, but you have it already connected. So that was the second one. The third one I would like to show you is that actually we improved a bit to work without storyboard. I think this is particularly important for people who actually do nonfiction. So we know we have a lot of users who actually don't use the storyboard step at all or don't need to. They maybe even don't work with images. So now in the shot list, you can already create some bulk shots here. I mean, you still have this placeholder, but just don't worry. You can enter the data here for title or description. So this is way faster than always have to switch back and forth from the storyboard. You can later expect the same, by the way, from the shooting schedule. So now, as you have them created, you want to put them into a shooting day. So let's create a shooting day. You see, you have this divider line, which is on top. So somehow we have to get them into that one. So of course you can drag and drop now every one single, but maybe some people didn't notice so far. You can multi-select with this, on my Apple keyboard, it's like the command click, but even like at most programs, you can just simply shift click. And now you can also bulk drag and drop just to the shooting day. And now everything is in this shooting day. So if we go to the shooting day, you see all the shots already here. connected with the location, connected with this. So you see, by the way, here, I don't have put the address yet, but you see the location is already showing up. So this is the second tip in the short list. And then if you are in the American region, for example, you might have noticed maybe this one is not the frame rate you want to shoot on, but it's already set to all the shots. Now we implement actually, and this was also a heavy feature request from users, to have the frames per second default rate for each project. So you can even, if you didn't touch the frames per second yet, you can even afterwards switch them. Don't forget to hit the save button. And if I now go back to my shot list, you see everything is set to 24. By the way, if like you have one shot with a slow motion, if I would now switch it, the slow motion would stay. So once you edit it, 1 frames per second data, it stays like you entered it, but everyone which is untouched, like the base frame rate, this you even can switch afterwards. So yeah, this is just the first step actually to be a bit more, let's say, sensitive to localizations. We know that people from Europe still wait for the 24-hour system. Our apologies that it's not there yet, but of course this is on our list too. So these were my tips. So now let's see what we can expect very soon in terms of development. So this is actually we are currently working on. So really, so you don't have to request it anymore. Even so, soon you will have list views. We will also improve the usage of tag. So right now you can tag everything inside this review component of the app. But we don't make so much use of it so far. So soon you can show them and see them in the list view already. You will later filter them. And this is actually app wide. So wherever you have some kind of assets, files, you can put these labels to it and create your custom ones. So very important. So every workflow is different, we know. So with these kind of individualized labels, you can really get a new level of value to your workflow. And yeah, and like I said, list view not only actually here for the files, we also implement list views for the projects. So means especially companies who have a lot of output and sooner or later will have like maybe a list of 100 projects in their space. So they will benefit very much from that feature to be able to sort and filter the projects as a list. And one thing I skipped, so soon we have the in-app notification. You know that you get sometimes these emails for like someone commented on something or someone improved a step. So all this soon will be in a notification module inside the app. So you can then even switch off the emails if you want to. So you don't get any email anymore, but you see everything what changed in your projects done by your collaborators. You will see in this kind of module. So now I would like briefly go over like 6 features which, let's say, I expect to come in the upcoming 6 months. But the nice thing is of having you as audience and actually users or at least interested people in the app, that you can help us in prioritizing it. Means like you can anyway always reach out to us and ask us like, what about this kind of feature? Do you plan it? Or if I would love to have this or that. Like Kristi will speak a bit later, but that was really a very nice input we got from Copperwing, from their company. Sometimes it was just bugs, which they commented on, but sometimes it was also really nice feature input. For example, the selection what to print on the PDF, Kristi. We have this on our list, so sooner or later will come. So if you print a core sheet, you can say which modules you actually want to have in the core sheet, like if you want to have the teams there at all or this kind of stuff. So we prepared a survey where you can rank some upcoming features or actually bigger ideas, like to your needs, and say, okay, if these are the features of the upcoming months, I would like to have them in this order. So this is most important to me. This is the least important to me. And the more people join this is a very valuable information for us and help us to bring you as next feature, the one you were looking most for. So templating, you can customize the workflow already a bit. Soon you will be able to customize it even more. And once you customize it, of course, there is the idea of saving this kind of individual work layout as a template. And then if you start a new project, that you can start from, not from scratch, but from this workflow. Second is status management. Right now, it's very basic. We know it's like also only this approval, but this should change. So you not only have the possibility of unapprove something, you will have different status like in progress or changes requested or needs review, stuff like that. So this helps a lot if you have a bigger team and you can communicate with each other. And this you really now have to think together with the notification system so that you will be notified if someone says, okay, this file needs review or this file needs change, for example. Next one would be call sheet tracking. I think this is obvious what it means, or maybe not so obvious. The point is not to have someone as guest in your application where he can see everything right now, but actually similar to file sharing the call sheet so that they really only get the call sheet. So think of in your production of extras, set runner, caterer. So they are not involved in storyboard, neither in location scouting. So they actually just have to know when and where to be in the morning and the next day and so on, or drops list, not to forget anything for the next day, stuff like that. So call sheet tracking. And next one would be production calendar. You see, we have you can set a date, like a due date, but very soon you can also put a start date, and then you could have already some kind of calendar in a basic version where you can see throughout the weeks, production weeks, like which step is to do, is supposed to be done. It will also highlight a bit more the deadlines, upcoming deadlines, like for example, if you're 2 days ahead, 2 days, if the deadline is only like two days from now. Task management, which would include more assigning a task to someone or assigning a file or assigning a review to someone and being notified when this task is done, for example. Also, if you have a lot of tasks assigned, that you have a dashboard and see, okay, what are all the stuff I have to do in this project and in this project, and what are the deadlines, what is coming up next, and to manage this. And then also more share link options. One would be the privacy. So one possibility would be to protect it with a password, but other stuff could be like allowing to comment or not, allowing to tagging or not, all this kind of stuff, or expiration dates. So there's a lot of possibilities. Yeah, so we prepared a survey, and you will find this survey, for example, inside the app in the resource center. You will find it in the email you got, in the footer, probably also on somewhere on the homepage, but I think these are the most prominent places. So feel free to join this survey and rank your favorite features. We would appreciate a lot, because we really love to listen and really love to make this app tailored to your needs. So with this, I would like to give back to the panelists, and Xaver will introduce our guest from USA.
Yeah, so awesome. Thank you very much, Rasmus, for all of that. By the way, I personally cannot wait for the list view here. I am so looking forward because as soon as the projects are getting too many of them, then to have a list view, this is something I personally really looking forward to. Yeah. Okay, so Kristi, so welcome. It's great. So you guys who haven't met her yet, this is Kristi Sasser from Alabama, USA, Copperwing. She's a real producer and she is using producer. So Kristi, welcome.
Thank you, guys. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on. We have quickly become fans of the tool and greatly appreciate what you guys have done, not only to create it, but just listening to our feedback and almost taking some of our suggestions and implementing those overnight for us. I mean, that was pretty amazing.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that. But tell us a little bit more about Copperwing. Tell us what do you guys do? How many people work in your company?
So Copperwing, we have we're located in Alabama, as you mentioned. We have multiple offices in Alabama. We are a branding firm, and we have in-house video production team. We do animations, motion graphics. We have a DP and editors, and I'm an in-house producer. So we work with clients from the Gulf Coast of Alabama to Wyoming and provide solutions, for, their branding, their marketing, and we, handle their video-wise, anything from training videos, internal communications, commercial spots, and on occasion a documentary. So kind of a broad scope of what we can take on, but we're happy to do it if it's moving images or whatever. We're here and can help in many different aspects.
So that's really a vast area that you guys cover. So as a producer, what kind of pains in your job do you get around every day? What is the kind of pains that frustrates you as a producer? What you have to find workarounds?
Right. Well, I think any producer would tell you everything is based on time and money. So what producer has allowed us to do is save time, thus saving money. So if I'm able to have things, consolidated into one application rather than using, multiple software, multiple tools to create things for one project, I'm saving a lot of time and I'm saving a lot of money.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's just wonderful to hear it from you. That was always the goal for us, but then to hear it from a real user is just the best feeling.
Yeah, I mean, like staying on budget is my number one goal, coming in under budget, doing things on time. And what you guys have provided, this tool that we've used, is helping us achieve those goals.
Oh.
Fantastic.
So how did you actually get to know about Producer?
Actually, Producer came to me, our Chris, who is our DP, he actually read and saw this on maybe an industry-related news piece, and he forwarded it to me in an email, and I checked it out that day, and I started uploading our freelance database contacts that day, and the rest is history. I loved it. I loved the design. It looks very professional. The ease of use. I mean, the list goes on. I went to Chris immediately and I was like, we need to have this.
But so did you not have certain expectations before you open up, or did you just say, okay, I want to check it out because you're in need to find a solution?
Yeah, two things. Yeah, I was looking for a solution to have everything consolidated into one place, one workflow that we could all use, from development to delivery. If it was the director with the boards or the shot list or uploading the talent, one place where all of our team could go to see everything. So I was looking for a solution, and I was just like, please let this be what it says it is. Work as good as it sounds. And you exceeded expectations because not only was it doing those things, it allowed us direct access to you guys. And anytime we had a suggestion, I mean, we could easily talk with you over the phone or chat with you, and some of those features that we suggested, you guys implemented it overnight. It's super to have. I mean, I can't think of another tool where we've been able to just talk to a developer directly. It kind of made us feel like code developers in a sense, so that we were having feedback that was implemented so quickly, and the change would be there the next day. And we actually went in with a real project on this pretty quickly, and so to have that accessibility to you guys and your willingness to work with us as you have, it was amazing.
I mean, definitely, we have to admit that the tool was far from perfect, but all of your suggestions really pushed us to say, okay, we are going to fight for this. We are going to make this happen, and Pablo was here day and night making sure that stuff gets deployed. Yeah, and so we are also very thankful for you that actually pushing us. Because sometimes we have a vision and an idea, but then to really come from another perspective, from a real production, then we say, okay, we just didn't think about that.
Yeah, sometimes we just miss something so obvious, but we're not in the field and we don't really see it until someone just tells us, like, guys, forgot this.
Yeah, I think once you're in something and you're actually working with it, that's where you find, oh, well, what if we had this, or could we add that? And Patrick and I would talk sometimes daily. Chris would be on a conversation with one of you guys. I would be chatting with another, and we were just offering up ideas, and you guys made a lot of those ideas come to life. And it's really been helpful.
So beside the time is money, what other aspects would you say did producer solve for you during this specific production?
Well, this production, the first one that we've used Producer with, it turned out to be pretty complicated. So we had multiple shoot days, and then we had a lot of talent and crew. It was a pretty big team of people and talent. And so to be able to, also we had weather, and so things moved around a lot, and Producer made it super easy for me to go in and make changes and get that out to the people and the channels that needed to see those changes without working in multiple documents or applications and making changes here and in other places. And it just made that process so much easier, because Chris and I are also able to work in Producer simultaneously, which was another great thing. He could be working on entering, things that he wanted to have on his shot list while I'm uploading talent. And that was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the nature of the beast, to be able to, in filmmaking, there's so many variables, like you say, even the weather, or people that when somebody gets sick or somebody is late. So, and for us as or for our team of developers and as a company to keep that all in mind, we are coming from filmmaking. We are filmmakers. But it's just a fresh reminder again that it's there's a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
And
everything can change in 1 second, and we have to make sure that if you need to change really fast, like a whole shooting day, it takes you a few seconds and everything is updated for you.
Correct.
So if I may ask, what would you like to see as a new feature if you could choose from your side, or what do you feel like is still missing in Producer?
I think you guys addressed some of those in what you had in the features that you spoke about earlier. I think all of those things are just additional assets to the tool. Like having all of these things in one place is incredible. I don't know of another software application that does all of that in one place and does it as well and looks as professional as what you all have created with Producer. I mean, maybe eventually there's an email function, where I'm, like you shared earlier, I can select who I'm sending that to, and people that need to be there on a certain day. If there's crew that need to be there or don't need to be there, they're only receiving what they need to see. And I think that's great. I don't want to overshare. I just want them to know who, what, when, where, and, keep everything simple.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you would, what would you say to people that still maybe sitting on the fence and not sure if producer is really the right tool for them? Should they switch to that? What would you say to them? What would be a reason for them to switch?
Again, I go back to just having everything in one place. Now, if there's something else out there that does that, I'm unaware of it, but I can't imagine that it does it as well as producer. Also, that you're still developing and that we have access to the developers, and we can, you can submit an idea for a feature and you guys actually listen. That is the most incredible part, is just being able to have access to you. And then, like you said, I mean, Pablo's, I think, stayed up there late, late nights and early mornings implementing the things that we requested. And I think because of that, the tool just continues to develop and get better for every user.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's really, we give everything, and then to hear it from you really means a lot.
Yes.
I know you touched already on Patrick. He was there for you every step of the way, but on the customer care side, are you satisfied? So where can we improve?
100%. 100%. There was never a time that we chatted that I almost got like immediate response. And we're on different time zones. So, that was great, because I like I said, I don't know of any other tool or brand or big company that I'm going to have that type of access to speak with directly. Just the willingness, to make the changes that we requested, to implement those features, and the timeliness in which you did that. Chris and I just have applauded that and sung your praises to our company. You've made our jobs easier.
Thank you very much. Kristi, I just have a question for you, coming from one of attendees. Did you use Producer on location, and did you face any issues accessing it from a remote location?
I'm trying to recall. We jumped around a lot, but we did have access to Wi-Fi. And yes, we could pull it up easily on a laptop from anywhere we had, service. So we were good to go. And that was super helpful, because rather than having paper, I know a lot of our team likes to have printouts, PDFs, and actual copies in hand. It's also nice just to flip open a laptop and be able to go through the board. Hair and makeup can see, this is our next talent. This is what we're wearing. This is our next scene. And so that was great to be able to see it both ways.
Right. Yeah. The last question I just had was, does it create value for you? But you've answered that already.
Absolutely. 100%. We're super excited to be on board and to continue to use it. And I'm excited about, all the new features and creating our next project using Producer.
Thank you so much, Kristi, and thank you also to Chris, for you guys that's there with us, and giving us all this advice and also how to make it better. We're really thankful for that. Yeah. All right. So is there anybody more? Any questions for?
Yes. So I think we can start the Q&A session with some questions that were asked during the webinar, and we will try to answer them all. Some of them might take too long, so I won't go too much into detail, and some of them will be a bit faster. So first, from an anonymous attendee, who is working with cameras like RED, and you are sharing clips with a folder structure. How does sharing and transferring would work? So that's a good question. I cannot answer right away or with a precise answer, but we are bringing a folder system in some Producer really soon. So I would suppose you can use the native folder system to share your files.
I've done that a few times,
yes,
sharing the native RED footage directly from Producer. Of course, it's bigger, but it's no problem. Our file transfer handles perfect. You can't play back R3D files because it's just too heavy, and nowhere you don't have an internet that can play that back.
I think the question is more, can we keep them together, the sidecar files with the main one? And if you just create the same folder structure on Producer, you can always share it in the same way.
Okay, yeah.
That would be, and then
Or compress
we'll
it, I
see.
suppose. Yeah.
Or then a zip file
Yeah,
would
zip
work
file.
and make it a zip file.
Yeah. But I definitely transferred files successfully to another user and they downloaded it successfully and used it. Yeah.
Another question about DaVinci Resolve as metadata fields for various crew positions. Is there a way to cross-reference the call sheets with the footage shots that day to import that metadata into Resolve? I don't know. I think this one, it's an anonymous user, so I don't have your email, but if you want to share your email in the chat, I could come back to you soon with an answer, but right now I cannot tell you. I need to do some research.
Or get on a call with us and speak with us about it, and we to understand it also better. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this one actually Xavier will love. So someone is asking if we can set ins and outs on our uploaded dailies. So it's been a long-running discussion on this one. We've been talking about it for I think 2 years to actually upload the dailies, set in and out, export an XML file and reuse it. So it's definitely not available right now, but it's something that will most likely come one day. And again, like we said, we're also listening to you guys. So the more people ask for it, the higher the chance is going to come really soon.
Because the theory is also like how I see it is like if you have your storyboard and you drop those dailies inside the shots of your storyboard and you mark the one you like and you mark it in and out, actually you have your first rough cut.
Yeah.
And this is again that will be a game changer somehow, because to have the first rough cut and you will save so much time by just setting the ins and outs.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something we are thinking heavily about.
And the next question is another one we've been talking for a long time, is exporting the storyboard as an animation and with adding sounds, effects, and music to share it to your clients. Again, this is not available right now. If you want to see it, vote on it you can add a custom feature on the survey. And if many people ask for the feature, we're going to discuss it internally.
Yeah, it's of course that's a great pitching tool to be able to play back the storyboard with some sound and even if a small voiceover on your telephone, it's definitely something we've been thinking of also. Yeah, we're giving everything. We're gonna get there eventually.
Okay, now some easy questions. So where is my data stored? So your actual data, your shortlist, your user data are stored in Europe. And for your files, you actually choose where to store them between the US, South America, and Europe when you create your own space. You cannot switch when it's when you've decided, but you're actually the one who decide where to store your files.
And that actually improves the latency issues. It improves the performance if you play back the file so it runs close. It also gives peace of mind to users to say, okay, my files are saved in the US where I live. All my files are saved in Europe and I feel more comfortable with it. And then, of course, it's on Azure, so that means there's multiple. It's safe. Yeah? Yes. How does that work?
I mean, this will make the question maybe a bit too big.
But either way, it is as safe as it gets.
Yeah. I think there is actually a follow-up question on this, so I will come back on the safety. So can I archive a project to a hard disk? Again, this is not available right now, but we've been, just talking about it. Especially now that there is the limit of one project. So to be able to export a zip file, it's not there. It might come soon. It might come in a year. Vote on it if you really wanted to see it happen. How can I add storage or user to your subscription? So to add users, it's easy. You just go on your settings. On the user settings, you can invite new people on your account. So there is admin or creator. And they will be automatically added to your subscription, and they will be removed if you revoke their access. And for storage, right now you would have to contact the support, and then we will add the storage to your account. But soon enough, you will be able to add storage from the application.
Awesome.
What are the security certification that we fulfill? So right now we are working on the first one is ISO 27001. So we will start with this one as the most basic certifications. And then we're going to work on SOC 2 Type 2. I mean, I cannot give a deadline on this.
Yeah, we are accessibility.
We also accessibility certification, but this, to be more open to people with disability. And we're also looking at TISAC certification for our friends working from Germany with the car industry. And this will bring us to a really, really high standard of security and how we handle your data. How can I handle directors and actors' reels? So this actually, it wasn't shown in the list of features, but this is one we're also working on without a deadline I can give, to be able to cast anybody actually. So it could be a director, you could be casting even your gaffer if you want, and you would be able to add the reels, and your clients, for example, can choose who they want to work with.
And those reels will actually show up inside contacts. So
Yes.
and they will show in there.
Yes.
So you can share those specific contacts, and it's of course really easy. You can share anything, any contact from the application.
And you can reuse them. So if you work usually with the same, let's say, directors, you don't have to upload every time the reels. You can just use the contact and share the reels with your client. Can I change the layout of the call sheets? No. And right now, it's not really in the plan to work on these layouts, even though many people are asking. We're trying to provide a good industry standard for the call sheet to make sure that you always have the right information. If you think something is missing, always raise it directly to us. But right now, we don't plan to add the layout on the call sheet.
And honestly, this is the most beautiful call sheet that exists. Yeah, I've seen so many call sheets in my life, and this is an amazing call sheet that we have. So I think it's fine how it is.
Yeah, maybe the last one I take. The question is, any chance to have a strip board not based on shot, but in scenes or both for narrative projects? So right now we have only shots, it's true. There were the requests sometimes. So I think sooner or later we will get there to have a separation between scenes and shots in terms of like fiction or narration film. But if you talk about actually non-fiction, which is not so much shot-based, but more scene-based, then of course you can handle the shots actually as scenes and just write for one shot, like everything what describe the whole scene, for example. Also, really nice workaround we saw with some clients who worked in the narration. He used the scene number and the shot number actually with a slash in between as the title of each shot. So by this, he still had a good overview and the separation and sorting without getting lost. It's just that it's not technically supported as scenes.
Awesome. Thank you. But okay, then we call it then at that. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. Firstly, to Kristi, thank you so much for sharing all that knowledge and help keep pushing us to get better. Rasmus, thank you so much for being a great product owner. Keep pushing the application to make it better. To Pablo, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
for the we keep going, and yeah, that was it. That was Behind the Code, made for makers. And until the next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kristi. Thank you, Rasmus.
Thank you.
Thank you.